Hi everybody, for this week's video I present you my island calf. First I will cast on the machine, starting by the black needle, going one in the front, one in the back for the first row. The machine I use is a 46 needle knitting machine Addi Express Kingsize. If you're new to my channel, I will share with you all the numbers that you need for the project on the screen during the video. And we will do this project step by step. So I finished the first row, put it in the yarn feeder and then crank. We are preparing the body of the calf. So now we will do 60 rows, like you could see on the screen. Put that in your notebook. This video will be a little long, so make sure you have something to drink, and I will tell you where to pause to take numbers if needed. And now it's time to cast off. Sorry, I was talking, I forgot to tell you. When I do cast off, I remove the yarn from the yarn feeder, crank a full 360, and then I will grab the yarn and pick the stitch just after the black needle. Also on the screen you will see the color that I use for the yarn and the name. So now I remove all the stitches one by one with my wool needle, going through the two little red teeth. This project could also be made on the Central 48, no problem. There, still continue to pick all the stitches like this. Very important to don't lose any, because you will end up with drop stitch. I almost did one right there, but it's easy to fix, but when it happens it's not fun. So I continue, almost finished for this one. And some part of this video will be a little bit faster because it's something that I show a couple of times, so no worry, you will see it on the right speed when it's needed. Now we will do the cast on for the horn, and for the horn we will need 2. So I will put that in the yarn feeder and crank for 20 rows. So you need 2 times 20 rows. There. The name of the yarn is Bernat Premium Burlaps. B-U-R-L-A-P. Now to cast off, open the yarn feeder, crank a full 360 to release all the stitches from the machine. If you don't do that, you will not be happy to try to remove it. So you could see the color of the yarn on the screen. Now pick up all the stitches back one by one. So we're preparing all the pieces needed for the project, and then we will do the get together part. There. Almost finished. So we need 2 like this. Oops, a little glitch in the video. Sorry. It's happened sometime, but it's okay. No problem. Stretch it and put that aside for now. Now we will do the ears. For the ears we do the same thing. Cast on by starting by the black needle, one in the front, one in the back, and then you crank for 20 rows. You will need 2 times 20 rows. Time to cast off, remove it from the machine, do a 360, not the machine but the yarn feeder, cut it and grab the stitches one by one again. So for the ears you will need 2, so don't forget. So I remove all the stitches. I put this part a little bit faster. Like I said, when it's something that you see a couple of times I will fix that with going a little bit faster. There. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Oops, little glitch there too. Sorry, but it's the second hairs. So now we will do the oops. We will need 4 of them. Cast on is done. Cranking 4 times 20. So we'll need 20 rows. Cast off, open the yarn feeder, crank a full 360, and grab all the stitches again with your wool needle. There. One by one, starting there and going like this till you remove all the stitches. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, don't forget to do it. There. A little tip is always to stretch your work when you remove it. Now we will do the muzzle. This time we just need 1. Do the cast on and crank it for 20 rows. 20 rows. Keep that in your notebook. Time to cast off. There, reach 20, open the yarn feeder, do a 360 again. There, cut the yarn and grab it all with your wool needle. Keep going. There. So I'm done preparing all the pieces. Almost finished. There. So I got all my pieces over there. Press pause to see all the numbers that you need on the screen. Now we continue with the body. We will stretch it and close both ends of it. There, just pull on your yarn, and with the yarn needle I will go and secure it. When it's secure, and I will do the same thing on the other side after. It's almost like when we do a hat right now, or a beanie. It's the same thing. Tight it and do a double knot. Tight and go to the other side after. Same thing on the other side. Pull, pull, pull. Prepare my yarn and attach it. Tight. And do a knot. There. Now I will reach the other side with my end in it, and with the little tail of yarn I will go pick in the middle to go to the other side. And after that I will attach those two tails together, just like this. There, stretch it. And now we will sew the border with the wool needle. We will go stretch first, and then with the wool needle I will go grab one stitch, skip one, and one stitch, skip one, till I reach the starting point, like this. So I will do this technique a couple of times during the video, so be careful how to do it if you're newbies. This is a beginner safe video if you take the time to watch it, to make sure that you get all the little technique that you need for this one. So if you're still with me in the video, can you put a little smile in the comment section? It's always fun to see if people still with me at this time of the video. There, and now it's time to pull a little bit on it and bring the stuffing. For the stuffing I always put just a little bit at a time. If you put too much, it will give it a weird shape sometimes. So I go like this, just a little bit at a time. So when you reach the amount that you're looking for, you will just close it by pulling again on the tail of yarn. Sometimes it's not that easy to close it, because you try to keep the stuffing inside and also try to close it, and you could end up with a little hole like this. So no worry, I will share with you how I fix it. Just bring back your wool needle, go around it, skip one, grab one, skip one, grab one, and then you will be able to secure it and don't see any hole. Not old, hold. Sorry, sometimes I have problem to pronounce it correctly. There. But maybe one day I'll be better. There, with practice. So now it's time to pull. Put your finger to hold it. And voila! You got a little ball. Cut the excess now, and I will hide it in the body, because we are making the body right now. Hide it, and do the same thing on the other side. There. So now I will bring other pieces. We will going to prepare our horn. So I'll close both sides, secure it, and do the same thing here and secure it. And for this one I will share with you how to do the matTress stitch. That's a stitch that you could use a lot with your machine. It will give a nice finish, very professional. Sometimes it's not easy at the beginning, but when you get it, it's very fun. You will see now the matTress stitch. So I close both sides. Now I will grab 2 bar on one row and 2 bar on the other row. Try as possible to keep track. Always be on the same column. There. I don't tie it right now, because if I do a mistake, it's easier to fix, and I will finish it after a little magic trick. Like that technique. When I start using my machine, I didn't know about that one. I saw it watching a lady doing some hand knitting, and she used that technique to get two pieces together, and I said, oh, I could use that for a machine. We learn stuff every time. So now it's time to pull, and voila, the magic is done. And to create the shape of the horn, I will pull a little bit more than I used to do, to give it a shape like this, a little curvy shape. When I have the shape that I'm looking for, I will just go and attach those two tails together to secure my work. So we'll do the same thing for the other horn. So magie magie, the two are ready. Put that on the side for now, and I will prepare my ears. For the ears, I will just go and close both hand, there, close it, and secure. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side. I will just show one ears because I will no need to do the two of them on the video. You know that you have to do two ears. And secure it. There. And to give a little shape, I will just go and sew one stitch more. Like this. Or maybe two if you want. Just to close it a little bit, but not too much. This will make a nice toys for Christmas time or a birthday present. It took me like 2.5 hours to try the pattern and make it. Maybe you could do that faster than I did, since you have all the numbers and you see already how it's done. We will continue with the muzzle. The muzzle, I will just close both hands like we do for all the pieces right now. But we will stay like this. We will keep it like this. No closing more than that. Stretch it and do one stitch just to give it a shape and close it. Now I will eye those tail of yarn. Oh no, sorry, I forgot that I have to get one stitch on the other side. There, now it's done. Now I will do the oove. For the oove, the cow oove, I will do the same thing. I will prepare my 4 pieces, close both ends of it, and create little ball. Nope, I'm not in the right angle, sorry for that, but you already see how I close it, so that's not a problem. Sorry that I'm not in the right angle. Sometimes it's not easy to check in the little square if I'm in the right place or not. And sometimes also I forgot that I'm filming myself. It's not natural anymore to make a project. I have to film myself all the time. There. And I reach the middle to the outside middle. Sometimes it's hard to pick through because the knot was very tight. So I attach those 2 tails together. There. Cut it. And I'll stretch it, and now after that I will sew the border of it by going 1 stitch, skip one stitch, skip one. Why I skip a stitch is if you pick all of them, it will get all chunk and harder to close. So it's better to go one and skip one. That's the way I do it. If you do it another way and if it worked for you, make it work for you. But me, I just share how I did it. There, almost finish. And then after that, I will put some stuffing in it, like I did for the body. Except this time I have to do that the same thing 4 times. There. Stuffing in here. Push it. There. And again. And push on the stuffing. There. And if some get out, just remove it. And I have problem to close it tight, so I always have to go around it again. There. Tight it. And voila, the first one is done. I did yarn inside, the tail of yarn inside of it, and cut the excess and do the same thing for the 3 other one, like this. Ta-da! Now a little tip to keep those hooves together. I decide to use some yellow yarn and going through the ball one side and come back, so that way we'll keep it together and will be easier to sew it on the body. I thought this part was the hardest part of the project, so not the hardest but the longer. So I will go grabbing 1 stitch on the body and 1 stitch on the hoof. Continue like that. There. Keep going. I put it a little bit faster because I was very slow on that part. Maybe I was a little bit tired. But I keep going. There. And the middle of the body, where we close it, will be in the middle of the 2 hooves, like this. Keep going, and I don't sewing my part tight, because I will tie it at the end. I will pull on the yarn, so that way if I do a mistake, I could fix it fast. Almost finished this side. There. We are now in the back. So you could see that I sew both hooves just on the side of the middle of the body where we close the body. There. And then I continue to pick all the stitches. If you have another way to attach your part together to keep it from moving, you could suggest me that in the comment for next time. Maybe could use your tip. Now I attach those two ends and I will tighten it a little bit. There, I do a double knot, cut the excess yarn, and I did in the black. There. And now I will remove the yellow and use it on this part. I do the exact same thing, going through and coming back. And you could attach those two tail of yellow to attach it like a bow to prevent to be avoiding to get the yellow in your work. So now I will continue sewing it. So now I continue, almost finish this part. This part was the time consuming of this project. But it's very important to keep those 4 pieces together to keep your little cow up after. That's why it was so important to attach it. There, almost finished. Coming back to my starting point. Now I will be careful. A little bit. There. We'll remove the yellow and secure my work after. Keep going. I did a full 360 around it. That's why it took long. There. And after that I will hide my yarn in the black when I'm done. Got it? And voila, it stands by itself. Now for the ears, I just put the ears there. It's temporary. It's only to be able to find the right place to put my horn. That's why I put it there. I don't sew the ear yet. Be careful, don't sew the ear there. I will change the place after. It's only to make sure that I put the horn in the right place, in the right position. Okay? So I just put it temporary there. It's not the right place that I need it. Now I will bring the horn and I will attach it on top of the head. So just use the ears like this, and it's not attached correctly. It's only picked through the other side to give me an idea where to put the horn. So you will see after where I put the horn. I will show how to attach the ears correctly. So I bring the horn. Well, it's a little bit funny sometimes to grab it correctly. So I will go and attach it. Take my time, grab 2 bar and a full stitch. 2 bar and a full stitch. Have to hold it. It's hard. It's a hard part to keep it all together. There. and I will try to stay on the same column on the body to make sure that the horn stay where I want it to be. Pull it and then sew it. I really like that project. It put a huge smile on my face. It's almost like when I did the little elf a few years ago. This one is my new favorite one. There. And finish it with a double knot, and we'll hide it in the ears. And not the ears, in the horn. And cut the excess. Ta-da! The first one is done. And now, magie magie, the second one is done too. Now we will do the sewing of the ears. So I remove the ears. Now it's time to attach it at the right place. I used the ears earlier as a stitch marker because I didn't find any on my table. So that's why I have to change the place now. And it was also to be sure that the horn was on the right place for the hooves. Now I add it a little bit higher, and now I will sew it. There. Like I did for the rest. I grab one full stitch on the ears and one fourth stitch or a bar on the body. We'll lift it to go under, getting closer. See, I grab 2 bar, it's a full stitch, and 2 bar, or a V. Some people call it a V. There. Oops. Almost finished. Keep going. And attach it. There. Now I will go and finish it securely and hide it in the ears. Cut the excess. Now it's time to attach the muzzle. To attach the muzzle, I will just go and prepare it like this and start sewing. If you have some stitch marker, use it. If you don't, hold it with your hand, just like I did. So for the muzzle, I will go around it and sew it. And I had some stuffing in it because I like the shape it gave him more character. Oh no. So I continue to sew one on the muzzle and one stitch on the body. So I will go almost all around it before I put the stuffing in it. I don't put too much, just a little bit. Pull on it a little bit and continue. There, and go from here to the starting point. keep going. Try as possible to stay on the same row. When you hold it, take your time, and when you get just a little bit of room to put some stuffing, it's time to add it. Just a little bit, like I said. I don't want to be too big. There. Cute. I like it. So we continue. There. Oh my God, if you're still here with me after all that time, I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad to be back on track with video making. There. And cut it. Now we'll have to do a little addition on it. So on the muzzle we will create a little V starting in the bottom of the muzzle, going up and on the side and going down, and then we will go across it and repeat the same process, creating a V shape. There. And bring it to the starting point. That's why I always keep a little bit of tail of yarn to be able to attach it at the end. So I will attach it with a double knot, and I did. There. And all gone. Now, cut. Now I will get my little eyes with a 30 centimeter of yarn. I will attach it in the middle of it, and my eyes are 30 millimeter or 3 centimeter, depending of what part of the word you are. So I put it in the middle because I will go with one tail on the side to get it. I will start in the back, not in the back, in the front, going in the back. There. So I got one. My first tail of yarn is there, and with the other one I will go and just attach it on the side and bring it at the end. If this toy is for under 3 years old, I highly recommend that you use yarn to do the eyes. Or if the kids have a handicap that could make him put the button in his mouth and choke, don't use it, okay? Better be safe than sorry. So I continue. Look like this. Now I will do with this part. I use 30 centimeter of yarn and attach it in the middle, and I will go and attach it on the top of the head. I will need 20 pieces for it. And this part gave me a lot of trouble because I didn't know the name of it. And I checked with my Facebook groups, and people was telling me maybe Shaggy Harry, Shaggy Bang, but the right name of it So I learned something today. It's a dozen, DOSSAN. Maybe I don't pronounce it correctly, but I learned something. That's a cow's French. French, not French, French. And that's the thing that I learned today. And thank you for the name of the lady who helped me with that was Deb Lindsay from my Facebook group. Thank you, Deb Lindsay. So I continue by attaching on the top of the head, and I will cut a little bit of it because they're a little too long. So that's why I use 30 centimeters, so that way if it's too long, I always able to cut it. Now I will do a little fancy addition to the eye. You could keep it that way, or you could add some, you could use some very pale gray. It's almost blue, but it will do the contrasting. I will just go under the muzzle and getting my needle up the eye and go on the side like this, creating like C, and going on top of it and going in the middle, on top of it, and going down. I just give it a go. I was inspired that day. But actually I really like that little addition. And then I will go on the other side doing the same thing. Yeah, I'm very proud of myself for this one anyways. Hey, cute. Look, you got a nice face with those eyes. So pick on top and coming back, on top and coming back. I don't tight it, just going very gentle and back, and I will go down. You could see better now. There. Sometimes it's not easy. The angle of my camera is not always the right place, but I do my best. So I like those eyes a lot. Like I said, he's my new favorite. There, and going back under the muzzle to attach those two tails together and hide it. He's cute. Just like this. And just right now I noticed that I forgot to add a tail, but you could do a tail, I'm sure. Just do a little braid and attach it on the back. See you next time for a brand new video. Ciao ciao, see you next week, and never give up.